Welcome to me, where suspenseful, thrilling, and mysterious stories will draw you into a world where the lines between reality and fantasy seem to blur. When the night falls, when all the sounds gradually quiet down, leaving only your own heartbeat and breathing, that's when these stories begin. Tensions, unsolved mysteries, moments that will make you hold your breath in fear or curiosity, all are waiting for you ahead. Find a comfortable seat, dim the lights, and let this sound guide you on a journey that is not for the faint of heart. I want each of you to leave a comment sharing where you are in the world. And if you are enjoying the episodes, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to the channel now. Relax. Are you ready? If so, join me in the first story right now. Clock is a tickin'. Freeze, jabroni. Don't make a move. Carl almost burst out laughing until he turned around and saw the camouflage gear-festooned, rodent-faced man pointing what could only be a large-caliber handgun directly at him. I told you don't make a move. Now turn around and put your hands behind your back, shrilled the man with the gun. Carl, a tall, thin, balding man with blue eyes, was no longer in a laughing mood. In fact, a sense of ice-cold terror was trickling down his spine. He'd never had a gun pointed at him before. Teetering on the edge of panic, Carl asked the armed man, "Just to be clear, do you want me to freeze and remain still, or turn around and place my arms behind my—" "Shut up, jabroni! Just do what you're told, and nobody gets hurt," barked the gunman. But Carl saw a cloud of confusion pass over the man's rat-like face. Immediately, Carl instinctively knew the man had never pointed a gun at anyone before, and that knowledge placed them on a level playing field, at least to a certain extent. "Hey, look, man, I don't have any problems with you," Carl said as calmly as he could. "I'm just here. Look, my wife got me a new tarp for our trailer for Christmas, and I'm just here to strip off the old tarp and throw the new one on. Who are you, anyway?" Carl's trailer was parked next to the Skookumchuck River in a remote, rural area of Washington State. Beautiful in the summer, but right now, it was December 27th, and freezing rain was dripping from the slate gray sky onto the small collection of aging recreational vehicles parked along the muddy banks of the Skookumchuck. "I got no problems with you either, provided you're not a Fed. Now show me some ID." The armed man was still barking orders, but it was clear that the burst of adrenaline was waning, and his voice had lost its threatening edge. "Quit pointing that gun at me, and let me get my driver's license, okay? What's your name, anyway? And what are you doing here?" Carl said, as he showed the man his Oregon driver's license. "You went across state lines, huh? Not a bad idea. Well, shit. I guess we gotta stick together in desperate times anyways, don't we? The name's Victor, but you can call me Vic." "Damn nice to meet you, Carl. Sorry I was less than welcoming, but you know how it is," Vic said, tucking his pistol into his pants and drawing the back of his hand across his nose before offering Carl a manly handshake. "This here's my trailer," Vic said, casting his head toward an RV about 20 feet from Carl's. Well, technically, it belongs to my Uncle Kevin, but he's too damn old and doesn't truly appreciate the magnitude of the threat. Carl took a deep breath. Suddenly, he felt somewhat restored to his equilibrium. He knew Kevin. Shit. Carl had been parking his trailer in these woods for about 16 years. He was at least casually acquainted with the other campers and fishermen who frequented the site. As Carl internalized the vital information that Vic wasn't just some random lunatic or escaped convict, he said, "Holy hell, Vic. I know old Kev. Known him for years. Wait, the magnitude of what is this threat you're referring to?" Vic went still, and his hand wandered to his waistband, where the gun was tucked away. He gave Carl a skeptical stare and then silently assessed their surroundings. The gentle roar of the river was a backdrop for the occasional chirp of a bird. But otherwise, all was silent. Vic's eyes flickered up into the evergreens and peered into the underbrush, but nothing moved. There was no breeze, and the rain was just a mist that hung in the air, along with the scent of moss. Carl belatedly realized that Vic had been out in the woods for a while. His jawline was scruffy, and the pores on his nose were black and visible. Dirt was caked under his fingernails, and his hair was stingy and greasy. "What threat?" Vic hissed. "You playing games with me, Carl? Because you wouldn't be out here if you weren't keyed in, and I don't appreciate being toyed with. No. That's not what I meant. Listen, I'm just trying to understand your assessment of the threat, Vic. We need to share intel if we are gonna get a handle on the... Shit, man. You want some beef jerky?" Carl asked, as he yanked a packet of Jack Links out of his pocket and tore it open. Vic accepted a hunk of jerky and gestured that Carl would follow him to his trailer. After about a dozen steps, Vic stopped in his tracks and surveilled the tree line for snipers. But soon enough, they were ensconced in the comfy confines of the almond beige wood paneling in old Kev's RV, chewing jerky and discussing strategy. Soundgarden issued softly from the tape deck as Vic chuckled and said, "Leave it to the computer nerds to completely disregard the obvious fact that we are gonna run out of digits. Goddamn educated idiots is what I call hello?" Vic could do a pretty accurate Jerry Seinfeld impression. "Sweet fancy Moses. Yeah, but what'll happen? What's gonna happen when the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve?" Carl asked, and Vic just shook his head and said, "Boom. Digital apocalypse. We run out of digits. Think about it. Our entire lives, ever since the invention of computers, we've been running on 2 digits. Wait, what?" Carl said. There are shitloads of digits, like 8 or 9 at least. Let me ask you this, Vic said, leaning forward. What year did you graduate high school? Class of '94, Carl said. And the year you were born? Vic insisted, leaning closer. 75. What's your point? Carl said, confused. My point? My point? Vic said, locking Carl in his beady gaze. My point is that when we go from 99 to 2000, boom, digital apocalypse, brah. Nobody has ever thought of the consequences. There are no guardrails in place, no safety net. Carl, think about it. Realization dawned on Carl as he said, Vic, how the fuck did you figure all this out? Do you work for the CIA or something? Vic just chuckled and slowly shook his head. Ever heard of dial-up internet jabroni? My parents have it in my dad's office in the basement. Let's just say it's not just for email and porn anymore. I've done my own research. Fuck, Carl muttered, collapsing back into his chair. Do you think my ATM card will stop working? I'm afraid it's much worse than that, amigo, Vic whispered. It's effectively a Mayan calendar scenario. The end is upon us, and we are gonna need to be prepared. The fucking Mayan calendar? Carl, suddenly animated, exclaimed as he threw his truck keys to Vic. All hands on deck, Vic. You are the wheelman. I'll watch your 6. We need to get down to the 7-Eleven before dark, fuel up the rig, and load up on ammunition. 10-4. Carl, Vic said over his shoulder, but he skittered to a stop just before they reached the truck, grabbed Carl by the front of his jacket, and said, We are gonna need a lot more of this jerky, Carl. We need to sequester as many more packs of Jack Links as we can. Do you read me? I read you loud and clear, good buddy. Now let's get to gettin'. Clock is tickin', jabroni. Clock is a tickin' night call. What do you want? Hey, can you come over? Are you fucking serious? It is 3 in the morning. No, so. I'm sorry. I know it's late. I just really need you to come to the house right now. I can't believe you. You blocked me. What makes you think I want to see you right now? I've been trying to reach out to you for weeks. Peter, you can lecture me all you want in person when you get here. I really need you to come over fast. No, forget it. Bye. There's a man outside. What? What does that mean? I don't know. I just woke up. I got up, and when I walked by the window, I noticed that there's this guy standing outside, and he's looking up at me. Are the lights in your house turned off? Yes, they weren't even on. Okay. How long has he been out there? I have no idea. I've been peeking out at him from behind the curtains for like 5 minutes, and he hasn't moved. Call the cops, Dylan. I don't think they'll take it seriously. He's across the street. He's nowhere near my property. He isn't really doing anything. He might just live in the neighborhood. He'll probably move along soon, but he's been just standing there for a while. It's freaking me out. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Wake up your dad? My dad can't fucking walk. What do you think he's gonna do? So is this urgent or not? Why did you call me? What do you want me to do about it? I don't know. I thought you could maybe pull up in the driveway or something. That might be enough to scare him off. All right, Dylan. I know you're freaking out right now, but I'm gonna have to ask you to turn your brain on for a minute. I live 20 minutes away. Even if I were all too thrilled to jump in my car at the ass crack of dawn and drive over to you, I'd bet you anything that this guy is gonna be gone by the time that I get there. I am not wasting my time and burning gas so that I can drive over to your side of town for nothing. I've already done way too much of that when we were together. I don't owe you that anymore. If you're really, truly scared, then call the police. They will send somebody out. Block me again if you must. I'm going back to bed. Do you think I like doing this, Peter? Don't start. You are the last person on earth I want to talk to right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation at all if I weren't absolutely mortified. There is nobody else I can reach out to about this. Oh? I'm sure one of your little boyfriends would love to help you out. Why don't you give them a call? Yeah, I did. You were not my first choice. Nobody answered. I thought you were mature enough to set your bitterness aside and come help me. I thought my safety would matter more to you than all the trivial problems you had with me. My mistake. Dylan, quit fucking around and call the police. I'm not gonna argue with you. God, you're dense. Wait, I know what this is about. What, Peter? Enlighten me. What do you think you know? There is no guy. What are you talking about? I'm looking right at him. There's nobody outside. I know you, dude. You're scared of everything. There is no way in hell that you'd let some random man stand outside your house and look in your window any time of the day, especially not at 3 in the morning. You would have called the police immediately, not taken any risk calling me to come do something about it. You know that I don't like cops. Yeah, I didn't forget. I know that you don't like creepy men either. You've always struggled with common sense, but I don't think you'd waste so much time reaching out to me if you felt like you were in any real danger. I think you're pulling some fake emergency shit so you can get my attention. Yeah, I think you've been wanting to reach out to me, but you don't want to talk about everything that went down between us before you blocked me. I think it's an immature and disgusting thing to lie about. But it doesn't surprise me that you'd pull something like this. Look, call me tomorrow and we can talk about things. This is just not a good time right now. He's gone. Dylan, were you listening to me? Yeah, whatever. I looked away from the window while you were talking, and I looked back, and the guy isn't there anymore. Oh, I'm sure. Hold on, I'm gonna open the window. Take your time, bud. He's not anywhere down the street. I'm going to check the backyard. I don't remember if I locked the gate or not. So are you just gonna completely ignore everything that I just said to you? Sorry, I kinda zoned out. What did you say? You're fucking sick, man. Is that all? No, it isn't. This little scheme of yours is fucking revolting. I never should have answered your call. I don't have time for this bullshit. I have to get up for work in 3 hours. I know that this is fake because you still haven't called the police. You haven't denied a single thing that I accused you of. You're gonna stretch this conversation out for as long as you can. There's no man in your yard. There never was. You wanted my attention, and you got it. This is genuinely the worst thing you've ever done, Dylan. I hope you know that. I don't want to hear from you ever again after I hang up this call. I'm done with you. I've put up with your bullshit for nearly 5 years, and it ends tonight. This really pisses me off, man. Dylan, are you listening to me? Dylan. Hi, sorry. Dylan? What happened? Oh, nothing. Huh? Sorry to bother you. I'm gonna go. Wait. Why do you sound like that? What do you mean? You sound different. How? Your voice. It sounds rougher than it did before. I've got allergies. Good night. Hey, hold on. What? Did you hear anything that I told you? I set my phone down. Sorry. Did you go outside? Yes? Okay. Was the gate locked? Yes, I locked it. That's good. So, there's no guy? No. I need you to be 1,000% honest with me, Dylan. Okay. Was there ever really a man outside? No. So you were lying in order to reach out to me? Yeah. Why? I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to talk to me about? No. It's late. I'll call you tomorrow. Hey, Dylan? What? What's my name? My dad is calling me. Dylan, say my name. Good night. Dylan! The Wrath of La Vipera. Nera. How long has it been? Ale's mouth was dry, but sweat dampened his lips. 47 minutes, a voice replied. Closing his eyes, Ale drew in as much breath as his lungs would allow, then let it out in a deep sigh. 47 minutes. It felt like hours. There was no clock on the wall, no sunlight in the windows, no way for him to gauge how long he'd been captive. He would just have to keep asking. He sat in a steel chair, his hands tied behind his back. The room around him was pitch dark, and though impossible, it seemed to be growing even darker. It would still be light outside. He'd been taken just before he was to meet his wife for dinner. But to him, it felt like night. The thought of his wife sent a sharp jolt of worry down his spine. Would she do as expected and try to rescue him? He could hope not, but that hope would be irrational. She would come for him. She was the reason he'd been taken in the first place. The only ounce of hope that remained was the certainty he had that she would not make rash decisions. She would plan. She would prepare. She wouldn't let her emotions fog her judgment. At least, he was pretty sure she wouldn't. He tried to use his brain. He tried to gather as much information as he could, but the room seemed to muddle his senses. The air was thin, hot, and smelled of dust. An attic? No, the floor was cool, hard, concrete. It felt small enough that had they not been tied, he could reach out his arms and touch both walls. But whoever spoke to him certainly was further than that. Their voice didn't bounce off the concrete floor. It didn't reverberate off any walls, but he could tell which direction it came from. They weren't close enough that he could sense them near him, but the room felt far too small for them to be more than an arm's length away. He would have to rely on something else. What could he remember? He had just left the house. His head was down, and he was fiddling with his car keys. He didn't see them coming. He was suddenly flung forward, having been shoved from behind with the force of a linebacker. He braced to hit the ground, but had been caught by two more pairs of hands. One, calloused and rough, covered his mouth as another threw something around the top of his head. It was soft. A blanket? A sweatshirt? Something that could be tied. He had kicked wildly, tried to pry the hand from his face, tried to scratch, tried to bite, but it made no difference. His heart was pounding in his ears, but he heard a car approach. Fear forced his muscles to tighten to the point of pain. He tasted the coppery, metallic taste of blood, but it was from his own cheek, caught in the clenching of his jaw. The sound of a car door sliding broke through the fullness in his ears. A van. He felt his feet lift off the ground, a pain stabbing under his arms where he'd been held. He came down hard on the floor of the vehicle, his face feeling cold where the hand had lost its grip. A scream grew in his throat, but hardly made it out of his mouth before he was harshly grabbed again, the hand returning to his lips. The door slid closed, and he felt the vehicle lurch forward. His hands, sweaty and shaking, were pulled behind him and tied together. Someone spoke from the front of the van, firm and demanding. "Don't hurt him unless you have to. The less damage we do, the better." That should have been reassuring, but he knew he wasn't the target. His wife had made enemies. It was inevitable in her line of work, and he knew the danger. Years with no incidents had given him a false sense of security. He should have taken the time to prepared. A self-defense class or two might have done him some good, or learning to shoot a gun. It wasn't for his wife's lack of insistence. He just kept putting it off. And now it was too late. Surely she had prepared, right? Surely she wouldn't fall for a trap like this. She was clever. He had faith in that. He didn't know how long they'd driven, not for sure, but it was long enough for the hand on his mouth to relax, and for him to know that yelling wouldn't help him. When the van stopped, he'd been pulled out of it and carried through a heavy door he remembered hearing slam. He heard the sound of heavy footsteps on stairs and the echoes that followed. A stairwell, then. He struggled to focus, the shoulder of one of his captors digging uncomfortably into his gut. He tried to shift himself to sit more comfortably, but he found he was held too tightly. There was the sound of unintelligible whispers, another heavy door, and moments later, he was lowered to his feet and pushed down onto a hard metal chair. Alessandro Fochetta. It wasn't said as a question. They knew who he was. He wouldn't give them the satisfaction of a response. Your wife, La Vipera Nera. How much do you suppose you're worth to her? He couldn't fight them off. He knew that the second they'd assaulted him, but he could keep his mouth shut. He heard his interrogator tap impatiently on something. A table? I'm sure it's hard to place value on things when you're the most successful thief in Los Angeles. Money doesn't mean the same thing to you as it does to everyone else, does it? Silence. Again. Al was sure he'd make it out of this. And if his wife did too, she'd surely have something to say about being called the most successful thief in LA. Successful? Without a doubt. Thief? She'd fume at the label. He found it hard not to laugh aloud at the thought. They were right. Money didn't mean the same thing to them. It meant something far different 15 years earlier, when the two of them survived off bread, peanut butter, 69 boxes of dried pasta, and canned tuna. But now? Did money mean anything at all anymore? It doesn't matter. Once she sends us $20,000, you're free to go. Al felt a smile form on his lips. He tried to swallow the laugh that was threatening to burst from him, but it came out anyway. He heard a clatter, something thrown to the floor. Anger laced his interrogator's voice. What the fuck is so funny? Ale sucked in his lips, trying to stifle his laughter. 20,000. So you've gone and pissed off La Vipera Nera for $20,000? He fought another wave of laughter, reminding himself where he was. He didn't know these people. They could still kill her. There were plenty of people who'd pay more than $20,000 for her head. You could have asked her for $20,000. She might have wondered what for. But she knows what it's like to be desperate for money. It's what had gotten her into the business she was in, after all. Instead, you decided to kidnap her husband and hold him for ransom. No, I don't think she'll give you the money, even if you really were just going to let me go. I think she's going to kill you. He felt a rush of cool air as the man stood. You better hope she makes this easy for all of us. And with that, he was gone. Ale leaned back, feeling the cool steel of the chair through his shirt. It felt nice. Wherever they had him, they hadn't bothered to turn on any air. He wondered what plan his wife would cook up, and let himself imagine it for a few minutes. The silence was broken by footsteps on the hard floor, and he felt someone lean over him. His breath quickened, but he forced it to slow. Their hand gripped the cloth at his head, and he felt a rush of cooler air against his forehead as it was removed. He opened his eyes, expecting to take in a view of the room, but it was complete darkness. He didn't hear the person retreat, but he no longer felt them next to him. How long has it been? He was suddenly aware of how dry his mouth was. Half hour, a voice answered. It wasn't his interrogator. It was too shaky, too unsure. He sounded young. Someone roped into a task that was way over his head. Ale almost felt sorry for him. He didn't know how long his wife would take. Part of him hoped it wouldn't take long at all. But part of him knew that the longer it took, the more solid her plan would be. In the meantime, the room seemed to suffocate him. Sweat beaded on his face. He could feel it slide down his neck. He hoped he'd be conscious when she finally did come. He felt as if he was swaying, but in the darkness, he couldn't quite tell. How long has it been? 47 minutes. It had to be close to an hour now. He would have to prepare himself for hours longer. He wished he had a drink. Suddenly, a wedge of light illuminated the room as a door swung open. Al turned away, unaccustomed to the brightness. Through squinted eyes, he took in what he could of the room. The walls were covered with foam squares to dampen the sound. The only furniture was the chair where he sat, and an office chair that sat parallel to him. He could see someone standing in the corner, still bathed in darkness. The person who'd been keeping track of time. How had he done so? In the dark. There hadn't been the light of a phone, at least that Al had noticed. A frantic boy entered, his face pale and drenched in sweat. Cut his hands free. We need him. She's here. She's inside. He looked over his shoulder as if expecting her to jump out at him. The man in the corner was clearly shaken by the words, jumping forward to cut the tie at Alay's hands. Inside. How did she get inside? Darwin was guarding the... She shot him. She didn't even say anything. She just came out of nowhere, shot him, and forced her way in. He sounded as if he was fighting back tears. Ale wasn't the vengeful type, and under most circumstances, neither was his wife. He'd be lying if he said he didn't feel at least a little bad. So what are we going to do? Give him to her. That's what she's here for, isn't it? Ayla felt their fear, though he wasn't sure why. He had been them, or at least similar to them. He had been a terrified 20-year-old, not sure where his next meal would come from. not sure what he would have to do to make rent. These two certainly didn't seem the masterminds behind this plan, regardless. No, that was the man who'd interrogated him. A man old enough to know better. A man arrogant enough to think he could kidnap Alessandro Foccetta and live to tell the tale. And with an extra $20,000 in his pocket. The man who was in here before. The one who asked me questions. Who is he? They froze, or as near to freezing as they could get while still shaking. His name! I need his name! There was more force behind his words now. They shifted uncomfortably on their feet. Leon Metzger, Ailey nodded. With the door open, he could hear someone yelling, and the crack of a gunshot. I can find my way from here. He left the room, closing the door behind him. Sparing them could be dangerous, but killing them would be senseless. Metzger was the one he wanted. Plus, he could easily give them $10,000, and he was sure they'd do whatever he asked. He could remember when 10,000 seemed life-changing. The hallway outside the door was like that of a parking garage, only narrower. It was concrete on the walls and floor, with large, orange-tinted lights along the ceiling. He went toward the commotion. This wasn't a massive operation, half a dozen men at most, and two of them were in the room he'd just left. How many stood between him and his wife? He broke into a run, hoping the next person he ran into would be her. Another gunshot rang out, the sound bouncing its way down the halls. He was close. He turned a corner to see his knight in black, bulletproof armor, a seething glower on her face. Her expression immediately brightened as she hastened to him. "Are you all right? Are you hurt?" She looked him over, seeming afraid to touch him in case he was injured. I'm fine. I'm assuming you are too." He poked playfully at the bulky vest she wore. She nodded, but her face grew serious again. "How many were there?" She started down the hallway, 4 at most. He would tell her the truth when she didn't have a gun in her hand, and she wasn't searching for men to kill. Leon Metzger, he's the one in charge. I've taken down 3, so that leaves Mr. Metzger. He wouldn't charge at the woman with a gun. So where is he hiding? Metzger didn't give them the chance to wonder. He appeared down the hall as if on cue, turning and confidently leaning against the wall. There she is, the famed Black Viper herself. You really are as fearsome as they say, aren't you? Honestly, I didn't. Another gunshot, then another, and another. Metzger crumpled to the floor like a thrown rag doll. All heard his wife sigh heavily, from relief, he was sure. She turned to face him, taking him into a strong embrace. The Velcro of her vest scratched at his face, but he didn't care. He was safe. She was a criminal. She drew attention and danger, but so long as she was there, he knew he was safe. She pulled back, tucking the gun against her back in the waistband of her pants. "Are you sure you're all right?" She moved her hands along his arms and chest, as if checking him over. "I'm okay, really." He held a hand to his stomach. "I'm kind of hungry, though. Starving, actually." She laughed, wrapping an arm around him and leading him towards the exit. She paid the lifeless bodies no mind as they walked past, and all did the same. "We still have enough time to get to our dinner reservations," she said cheerfully as he pulled open the door for her. "Actually, I'm really craving pasta. The dried pasta we used to get, with the jarred sauce from the dollar store." She gave him a questioning look, but only for a moment. Yeah, that sounds perfect." Hail Mary. The man lay prone on the edge of thick woods, sighting down the scope of a 30-06 hunting rifle. Snow flurries melted on the back of his neck for an unknown reason, and mixed with the smell of pine and gun oil, the phrase "veil of an endless winter" entered his mind. He shook his head. "Poetry is the vice of fools," he scoffed. Through the compressed distance, the telescopic lens thickened the falling snow, proving the chalk house a quarter-kilometer away, a miraged dream. A woman came out on the porch, centered in the crosshairs. As if something caught her attention, she glanced quickly in the man's direction. She studied the woods for a long time. They stared back at one another, she in the glass from opposing distance, he a foreign and ominous presence. He stripped off his camouflage clothing, his muscles taut. After switching out to jeans, a black polar tech, and civilian hiking boots, he broke down the rifle, then wrapped the sections carefully in white cloth. He stuffed the bundle into his knapsack. Before he tied up the pack, he pulled out a clear plastic sleeve containing a yellowed file. Within it, he flipped through multiple pages, stopping at an aged copy of a driver's license. The photo, a man with long white hair. He tapped the image, his forefinger protruding from a fingerless leather black glove. He then said out loud, "Gotcha, you son of a bitch. Do you have food?" he asked the woman who answered the oak plank door. She was gaunt and scanned over the man's head to the woods. "She's beautiful," he thought. "Is she 35 or 50? She looked the man over. "We can give you food for work, but not long." "Okay, what are you?" "I'm Tavi." "No, I mean, what are you?" "Bannock." "I'm Bannock." "Did you come from Twin Falls?" "The reservation." "No, no one comes from there anymore. We need you to bury cattle." "Can you do that?" "Yes." Days went by, and the man slept in the barn and spent his time chipping at frozen ground, digging holes, maws in the earth. There were over 50 carcasses in a field, bloated and gray-white. The work didn't bother him. It took his mind off remembering the night the white flash struck the horizon, safely at home. A Netflix series on TV. His wife was reading in a pink robe, his son in his bedroom. His first thought was, why didn't I ever buy a gun? The impact wave struck the house, sweeping it away as easy as fine cutlery off a table. And as luck would have it, leaving him without a scratch, but alone. Sooner than he could have ever imagined, he was arrested by men coming to his tent in the camps. "You're a terrorist," accused the broken and terrified faces. Neighbors he'd hugged at Christmas parties. The only way to prove he wasn't the enemy was learning how to fire a gun, learning how to point a finger at other people, learning how not to feel anything while passing ash-laden bodies hanging in nooses. How can I live with myself? He'd ask the ghost of his wife. You can't, she'd say. Just come home. Dad, he cares nothing about us. You're too young to understand, the old woman said to the boy. And why should he care? He'll slit our throats right here in the kitchen. The old woman, her daughter Faith, and the boy were eating dinner. Faith cut ribs, separating the bones by hacking at them with a meat cleaver. The boy's face glistened badly, where on one side his flesh lay in white, scared rivulets. Just stop, Faith said to her mother. He's only 12. No one spoke for over a minute, while the old woman stared at Faith cutting the meat. He's scum, you know? Only an Indian would bury livestock for a living. With her elbows spread wide, her pincered teeth darted back and forth, pecking small pieces of flesh. A white bone in her greasy skeleton hands. What makes you so sure he's trouble? Maybe he's been sent to help us. Now you've got the sickness to think that. I don't imagine we need to worry he'll kill us while we sleep. Do you think that? Really? Damn right I do. That's exactly what he'll do if we're not careful. Faith's mother spit out a piece of pink grizzle. Your brother will be back soon. He'll tell us what to do. What's that? The boy called from the porch. Tavi held a football, flipping it in his hands. He threw the leather ball to the boy, who fumbled and dropped it. I'm not very good, the boy said. Sure you are. Pass it to me. Tavi moved away from the porch. The boy was thin and moved like a young man, and Tavi's face grimaced, remembering a day when the sky was blue and fall leaves yellow and red. I only dream in color, he thought. The boy threw him the ball. Better, you are good. Now you run out. The boy hesitated, moved off the porch, and jogged out 10 paces. Throw it, Tavi. Go way back. Tavi held the ball high in a poise, like a statue getting ready to launch the ball. Holding the stance, and with a radio announcer's voice, he said, Listeners, he's going out for the big play. still 2 points behind. Will the Saints have a last gasp to win the game? Tavi braced himself. He's throwing a Hail Mary. The crowd roars. The boy ran well into the yard, and Tavi threw deep, the ball arching through the gray sky. The boy reached his fingers and bobbled the ball, tipping it up into the air. It then fell into his arms. Score! The boy hero wins the game. The boy's smile broke broadly, and he came back to the porch. He handed the ball to Tavi. There's no more football, but there is. We're the proof, aren't we? I guess. But it's not the same. Tavi put his arm around the boy's neck. He pulled him close. Laughing, the boy hugged Tavi. Tavi winced. He burst out crying. Just go in the house, will you? Go, damn it! The boy cowered, his eyes wide. He ran to the house and slammed the screen door. Soon, Faith came out. But Tavi was nearly retuned to the barn. Is this what it's come to? She asked herself. Am I so desperate I'd let my son be abused by a stranger who barely talks? No. Even with your life stripped away, you still have something. Your son. He is the only pure honesty left. What keeps you alive? She plodded to the barn and then leaned against the barn door. Tavi's shirt was off, and he was pumping water into a bucket. Scars covered his back like lost highways on some map no one used anymore. You don't yell at my son, Faith said. Tavi glanced up. I'm sorry. What's your problem? Nothing. That's not enough. If you want to stay, you need to tell me. It's nothing, okay? What? Tell me. Tavi put his shirt back on. Jason reminds me of my son. It's hard for me. That's all. A minute passed. I'm sorry, but that's still no reason. What did you do before the war? I worked in a fishery near Stanley. We would spawn salmon and release them into the river. Why would you do that? We would count the few that returned. They traveled hundreds of miles from the ocean to get back. The lake is called Redfish for when my people lived there. The lake was red with the fish. Do you think there's still fish? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. They say the deer may have returned also. Some elk. Life is still out there. People survived. Just luck in my case, Faith. Bad luck. Maybe something else. I don't believe in anything but luck. But you don't know, do you? Maybe there's something else other than luck. That sounds like a stretch, Faith. I used to think we're meant to leave something better for those to follow. I don't believe that anymore. Something better for those to follow? We didn't do such a wonderful job, did we? What about you? Is there anywhere you'd like to go? I'll stay here. My brother takes care of us. Food, fuel. Without him, we'd be in a camp, I suppose. You'll like him. He'll be here in a few days. Tavi reached out and touched a place on Faith's cheek. He caressed her with his fingers, then reached behind her and braced the back of her neck. He showed no emotion, like stroking a cardboard box, his eyes curious. Remembering, finally, Faith said, It's been a long time. I've aged. You might not. You don't know who I am, Faith. My advice is to run. They stood facing each other. Then Faith began pulling away. Tavi gently held her neck. Finally, Faith leaned in and grazed Tavi's ear with her lips. There's a place for you in the house. There's still room, at least for hope, isn't there? Tavi woke from a dream where he was wearing snowshoes in thick snow over ice. He was breaking trail, and his wife was behind him in a red winter jacket. The sun was bright, and she laughed at something he said. With a grunt, she broke through the ice and then clawed at the edge where the hole had broken through. She soon slipped under. Tavi stripped off his jacket and dove into the hole. As he pulled down with his arms into the ice water, his body felt numb, but he still kicked his legs with everything he had, swimming deeper. At last, the red jacket was just beneath him, his wife reaching to him from below in the pale light. "Swim, damn it! Swim! Grab my hand!" Faith lay next to him in the dawn white of winter. She was shoving his shoulder. There are men on the porch. As Faith and Tavi came downstairs, they saw two men talking to the old woman. One man towered over her. He wore a Kevlar vest and leaned in. "We've got him, so this is a simple trade, if you think about it." The old woman held a small pistol in her hand. "Jesse, take your boy and get off my property." The younger one moved to go. He wore a vest also, but both the vest and the camouflage clothing didn't fit. More clown-like than threatening, Jesse scowled down at the old woman. "You telling us you don't want him? He's my son. You think I don't want him?" The man put his hand on the big revolver on his side. "You give us what Joe told us you have, or we'll start carving on him. We aren't in high school anymore." The screen door squeaked, and Tavi came out of the house. He stood by the old woman's side. Tavi glanced at the AR-15, auto-fed, that the younger man had slung over his shoulder. It dangled on a lanyard. Jesse glanced at Tavi. "Who the hell is this?" "You get out of here, now," the old woman said. The two men walked away, and Tavi and the old woman went back into the house. They gathered in the living room with the boy and Faith. "Why didn't you shoot him, Grandma?" asked the boy. He went to the window and peered through. "That's Jesse Rollins." "Yes, it is," said the old woman. "Now move away from the window." "What did they mean by saying they have Joe?" Faith asked. The old woman checked the handgun for bullets. A small .22 pistol. "They have our Joe, holding him out there. But I'm not giving them anything. It's all we have keeping us from camp. You can't imagine, Faith, what Joe says is going on. He's family. It's a trade, isn't it? I'm just doing what he'd do to us. He's as dog-eat-dog as I am, and knows how it is." Tavi entered the room, carrying his pack. It was full, his feet heavy on the wood slats. The scoped rifle was strapped in a sling over his shoulder. and he wore camouflaged fatigues. In front of the old woman, he said, "I'll be needing your pistol." The old woman grabbed for the gun, but Tavi held her wrist while he twisted it out of her hand. He then tucked it in the rear of his pants. The boy had tears in his eyes. "Tavi?" Tavi went to the window. He stared for a long time, and then, in a quick motion, he turned over the yellow pine table on its side, dishes shattering, and dragged it to the window. He grabbed a chair, crouched on the seat, and lay the rifle barrel on the edge of the table. Leaning into the scope, the staked-out man 50 yards away came into focus. It had stopped snowing, and the crosshairs remained steady on the man's head, resolute and sharp. The man's hair was long and white. "There's your humanity," the old woman screamed at Faith. "You see it now, don't you, darling?" Tavi lifted the rifle. "Jason, come here." He dragged over another chair. "I'm going to go out there and draw those men out of the woods. When you see the smaller man come out with the rifle, he intends to kill me. Do you understand that? You shoot him, okay? Don't think about it. Just pull the trigger. Here, place your eye on the scope like this. Do you think you can do it?" He passed the rifle to Jason. "Yes, sir." Tavi slowly crossed the yard to the edge of the clearing. He approached the man on the ground. The boy crouched at the window. "Come on, come on, come on," he mumbled to himself as he steadied the rifle, bracing the stock with his shoulder. The old woman paced behind him. "You can't shoot squat." She shoved Jason and put her hands on the barrel. "Give it to me." Jason pushed her away and sighted again out the window. Tavi came to the man staked down. He was moaning in the gray ash snow, his face bleeding and bruised. Long white hair streamed down his back, matted and wet. Tavi stared down at him and prodded him with his boot. "Do you know who I am?" The man on the snow stared back at Tavi with blank eyes. Tavi reached down and cut him loose, and the man rose and staggered towards the house. Jesse came out of the woods. "What are you doing? Where's our trade, big man?" Tavi stood up. "I'm the trade. Me for him. We'll take you, him, and anything they've got," Jesse said. "Plus, we'll step in where you left off with Faith, you might say." The old woman jostled Jason, tugging on the barrel. "Give me that thing." Again, Jason pushed his grandmother away, jerked the rifle back, his whole body shaking as he crouched behind the scope. He took his eye off the lens to wipe the sweat out of his eyes. "Give me the gun, damn it, boy." The boy thrust his body against the old woman, and she sprawled to the floor. He put his eye to the scope, put the crosshairs on the man, and pulled the trigger. Faith heard the click of the gun, and with the empty sound, her heart thumped. Just once, like her insides were collapsing hard in her chest. Jason dropped the rifle, ran to the door, and then stood on the porch. "Tavi!" His arms flailing, he leaped into the yard. "No, don't!" Faith screamed. "Don't you go!" Jason ran towards Tavi, his legs driving through the snow, white bursting around him, the ash kicking up underneath. The younger man squinted at the lunatic boy, whirlpooling his arms, coming straight at him. A howling apparition from hell, scars red aflame on his face. He lifted the AR-15 to his shoulder and swung the barrel. Tavi grabbed the rifle and threw his back into him, and with both hands, he forced the gun toward Jesse, who screamed as jackhammer bullets stitched across his belly. The younger man was behind Tavi now, and he felt a blade slide into his back, slick and deep, the pain piercing to his spine. He fell away and turned as he hit the ground and reached the pistol behind his back and fired into the young man. Tavi dreamed. The water was deep, a pure crystal blue. He pulled with his arms and kicked as hard as he could to fight, to descend. He tasted salt. And then his wife was there in her red jacket and broad-faced smile, reaching to him from below. The water was warm as he went deeper, so very warm. She stretched to him, her face with such a smile. "Grab my hand," she said, and he did. They began swimming against the current. Bafts. "I don't think you should." I really don't think you should. Get your anxiety under control. Do you know the consequences of doing something like this? Do you know the consequences of not doing it? We could die. We could die. So many more can die if we don't. You're not thinking. You're being selfish. Selfish? Did you ever consider that we're here because we're heroes? Heroes? Do you have a God complex? If we pull this off, we'll save millions. Tell me that's not heroic. So you are doing it to be famous? No. The money? Stop. The glory. You're distracting me. We have more work to do. I don't think we should. Now there's a we? Cha. You can turn back, but I'm going. Don't leave me. Go back the way we came. It's a straight shot to the exit. I'm dizzy. Breathe. I'm so faint. I don't have time for this. Ow! Why did you do that? You deserved it. I don't think I did. Fine. Stay here then. Don't leave. I have to keep moving. You're such an Shh. What's that? Shh. What's that? We're running out of time. Come on. What was that? Not sure. It came from the way we came. So, no exit? Likely not. No choice but to keep it moving. How much longer? Are you really asking me if we're there yet? No, I'm asking you how much longer until we get there. Here. What's this? What do you think it is? Well, it's obviously a map, but it looks like my son drew it. Shh. I don't know. Someone else, maybe? Shh. We're fine. Just stay quiet. Those aren't people. Get off me. Then be quiet. What? They're bats. Bats? Wait. Where are you going? Bats. Are you scared of bats? Of course I'm not scared of bats. You seem very scared about the bats. Stop saying bats. Come on, let's keep moving. Are you scared of things that fly? No, I'm not scared of bats. Now shut up and give me the map. It's okay that you're scarred down. Shut up. It's this way. Let's keep moving. Why? If it was just bats, then we can go back. Humanity's survival depends on it. Oh, really? Let's think. We're in a dark cave, trying to find the greatest threat to humanity. With a map that looks like it was drawn by a toddler, we almost got mauled by bats. And now we're lost. We're not lost? Then where are we? We're close. Left or right? Left. The bats went left. Right. Yup. I mean, let's go right. Because you're scared of the bats? Because the bats won't go where the weapons is. Right. Right. How do you know it's a weapon? What? The corp never said it was a weapon. They said they didn't know what the threat looks like. What else could it be? A person. A person? Really? I don't know. I don't know what we're looking for, or how our bosses don't know anything either. With all the money at the corp, you would think they would have a better idea, or a better map. We know it's a threat to humanity, and it's somewhere in this cave. Right. No, I don't think right was right. Are you saying that because of this dead end? Let's backtrack and go left. With the bats? With the bats. What if it's a bat? What? What if the greatest threat to humanity is a bat? A megabat? Do you hear yourself? Megabat? It's happened before. Humans are the greatest threat to humanity, and the things they create. We're looking for a weapon. A thing. Whatever you say. Let's follow the bats. You're so grumpy. Will you please shut it? Tam. I'm hungry. We don't have food. What do you mean we don't have food? We didn't bring food. We were supposed to be there already. What time is it? Oh, 200. No wonder. It's lunchtime. Lunch at 2 in the morning. I work the overnight shift. So, Tam. What is it you do on the overnight shift? I'm the custodian. The custodian? Shh, you'll wake the bats. Explain. Right now. But Explain, or we're not moving. And we're not eating. I thought you didn't have food. Explain. Now. Fine. I work as the custodian for the corp. Do you know Dr. Merlin? Never met her. Everyone says she's a kook. She's no kook. She's a genius. Very smart. Is that trail mix? Finish your story, and you get it. Last week, she was on edge. So I say, Dr. M, what's up? Yeah? And she tells me that there's new intelligence about some threat, and all of the field agents are cowardly salads. Cowardly salads? She's a tough lady, but she talks like an old-timey movie star sometimes. Her expressions. All right. So how did you end up here? Well, I told her that if there was anything else I could do to help her to let me know. So she put you in the field? Did you even have any training? I got about a week of training with the corp. Are you kidding me? Can I have that trail mix? You didn't think to mention any of this to me before? I thought you knew. Trail mix? Here, let's keep moving. Holy shit. Uh-oh? No. I told you it was Bafts. Hey, my trail mix. Focus. Why aren't they on the ceiling? They look like they're protected something. Someone. What? Look, there's hair. Oh, no. Nope. I'm not going in there. Give me the trail mix. Stop thinking about food. Give it to Maybe they eat trail mix. Stop throwing it. You're gonna piss them off. Look, they like it. What are you doing? They'll follow the trail of the mix. Fuck this and fuck you. Stupid corp putting me down here with a... It's working. Cowardly salad. Don't even Is that a real person? I told you the weapon wasn't a thing. Here, bats. Here, my little cutie patooties. Hey! Yes, you are misunderstood, little guys. No? Hey, she's not real. What? Who? The lady that the bats were crowding around. She looks fake. Like dummy, or a mannequin or something. Oh no. What? I think that's Dr. Merlin. The kook? It's a good replica, like in a wax museum. You ever go to Madame Tussauds? Focus. I am. It's a good copy. Only thing is, the ring is wrong. She wears it on her left hand. Don't touch her! Wow. Did you just do that? I think so. I didn't mean to. It opened when I tried to move her ring. Why did you? Is that a laptop in her abdominal cavity? It's a transmitter. Is that a countdown? coordinates. Do you know navigation? I know that 1 is New York. That's Moscow. 2 minutes. I think it's calibrated to all the major cities. 1 minute, 50 seconds. I can see that. I think it'll send signals to those coordinates where there's likely bombs or nukes or something. The mechanism can't be communicating via satellite. There's no service here. Yeah, not even the sat phone's working down here. It must be low-frequency transmissions, perhaps to another point right outside of the cave, which then likely connects via satellite. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We don't have time to find the outside receiver, so we'll have to block the waves from here. You know a lot about radios for a custodian. Before I immigrated, I was a radio specialist for my country's special forces. Okay, I didn't know. You never asked. So what do? We need to get the bats back. What? They were keeping the equipment at the ideal temperature while keeping themselves cool against metal Merlin. If we can lure them back, then maybe they can provide enough insulation to cut the signal. That's stupid. That's plan B. What's plan A? We only have 1 minute. Plan A is that I will try to jam the equipment with my tools. Okay, what can I do? Go get the bats. What? I'm not familiar with this system, so plan A might not work. 45 seconds. Get the bats back here. Scare them, and they'll flock to Merlin. How do you know that? Do you have any other ideas? How am I supposed to scare the bats? They don't like fire. Take this Zippo and make a torch from something. I don't think. 30 seconds. Merlin, what have you done? I believed in you. Now you betray humanity like this. What a shame, because you really are a genius. I have no idea how you made this transmitter, but it is very elegant. I'm impressed, disappointed, but also very impressed. 10 seconds. We're not going to make it. Oh. Yes, over here, cutie patooties. Go to your mama. Go, go. Why are you in your underwear? I put my clothes over Robot Merlin to try and damp the signal. Why are your underwear? I made torches. Good work. Yeah, you too. Do you think it worked? We won't know until we get outside. Let's go then. Here, take a torch. Thanks. You were a very brave salad with the bats. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't ask you anything about yourself, and for slapping you. All good. Do you have any more trail mix? Who was it then? Friday night. Mary, a 24-year-old girl, tired from job, was going to her childhood bestie, Julia. Julia and I studied in the same class, murmured Mary, sitting in Metropolitan. God. God, I can't believe this is happening. I am going to meet my best friend after 9 years. I am full of tears, said Mary, with eyes full of tears in her eyes. Actually, these tears were symbolizing her happiness and grief at the same time. She was remembering the moments spent with her Julia. "Hey, miss, can we talk, if you don't mind?" questioned Mary from a young lady in front of her. The young lady was surprised that a girl wanted to share her feelings in an excitement. She could not stop herself from knowing the reason behind her excitement. "Yeah, of course," replied the young lady. "Myself, Mary. I am 24 and work for Walmart. Just got a weekend free for myself. I am just going to meet my childhood bestie named Julia. I still remember the days we bunked up classes together, the way we jumped in the playground, enjoyed the lunch together, stole food of other classmates, and ruined the notebooks to be checked by teachers." Ha ha. Mary spoke out all of this in breathless. But wait, she started crying while laughing. What was it? Wondered the young lady. She asked the reason that why she became suddenly sad. Mary replied, "She was always in a gloomy mood in the morning. Her dad used to beat her mom a lot. She was from Islam. She used to tell me that her dad did not allow her mom to stand, even by the window of balcony. Slapped her mom without telling any reason. Always in a hurry of money for drinking alcohol. One day, her mom refused to give money for it. As a result, her dad broke a leg of her mom. She became very upset on that day. I advised many times to her that she should encourage her mom for divorce. But she said that mom will never agree upon it. On the day she told me about her mom's broken leg, I did not know that it would be the last day to see her in the school. After that, she never came. Just this is the story of ours." "Ah, that was such a sad ending," wondered the young lady. "So now you are finally going to meet up your bestie, right?" asked the young lady. "Yes," replied Mary. The young lady asked her that. From where did Mary got her friend's address? Mary told that she went to her friend's old address, and the neighbors told that the family has shifted to Newtown B. "Ah, just 2 kms away, and my destination will be right there. I am coming, Julia," spoke Mary. The young lady asked her many other questions, like why did Mary wait for so many years? Mary told that she became busy in her busy and boring life. Also, she answered her many other questions. Now, it was the time when Station was finally going to be there. The young lady could not stop herself from getting off with Mary. She actually wanted to know about many other things, and also wanted to know that how does her friend and family look now. She decided to go with Mary to Julia's home. When they both finally arrived at their destination, Mary knocked the door. A man aged about 70 to 72 opened the door. Mary ran to the house and started shouting, "Julia! Oh, my Julu! Julie, where are you? I have arrived. Now don't play hide and seek." The old man spoke. "What rubbish! What the hell is it?" Julia was my wife. She died 40 years ago in a car accident with her mom. Mary replied, "I am not joking. I know her since childhood. She could not be dead, and she was young, not that much aged. We played just 9 years ago. She told me everything happened to her mom." Mary told all the information and story about Julia to that old man. The old man shocked and cried with tears that the story was real. He went to his old suitcase and got a very old album of Julia's birth to marriage pictures. He showed it to both the ladies. They got extremely shocked. The old man said, "One day she was drunk from a party. She was driving to get back to home with her mom, and I was waiting for her at the dinner with my brother and his wife. The car just crashed the huge truck, and after that, she died. Her mom was in coma. But Julia was not anymore. She left all of us with that heartbreaking feeling." Julia's story is exactly matching to the story of her mom's weasel life. I don't know. Where did you got this information? From the kids? It's been 40 years. She is dead, but I always try to feel her presence. But she never came in my dream. Not even a single time. I don't know how to meet her. I just want to get that soon. I hope this is possible as soon as possible. I'm just waiting for my death each day. Actually, yeah, it is true that her childhood was really very bad. Her dad used to be her mom. Without any reason, didn't allow her to move outside with freedom. Once he broke her leg as well. And after that, her mom became handicapped. Julie met me, and we were married. We were actually good friends in college. After we got married, her dad was dead. Her mom shifted to us. They both were actually happy, but she never could forgive her. That because her dad had ruined her mom and her childhood. The flood got out of their feet. That how could this happen? Mary was shocked that the story was true, and Julie's face was the same. But how could this be like that? She was an old lady, already dead, and wondered that what about the girl she played with all the time? All of the three started crying, and the young lady was very frightened. She tremblingly said, Who was it then?" Silent, but deadly. The grass waves to the breath-filled song of the wind. No, wait. That doesn't sound quite right. Maybe just the voice of the wind. The luscious grass dances as the wind sings. Something like that anyway. I look around me, casually, like I'm taking in the view and not at all looking for a sudden change in the landscape that would signal my end. Should I admit that I'm scared? I'd be mad not to. But then this is madness. I'm narrating my life because my life actually depends on it. The moment I go quiet, it'll come for me. I know that much. Sneaky bollocks, tricking people into being quiet when that's how it finds them. I still don't get that. What form of creature finds its prey via silence? I thought it might hate sound, but no one is quiet in their final moments. And it doesn't seem fazed by the screaming. I shouldn't talk about that. Difficult to filter, though. I can't stop the words coming out. The words are my shield. All I have to do is think of things to say as I walk these next few fields, and then I'll be in the next village, and I can find a radio or just something, anything, to make some noise for me. Then I can sleep. I am so tired. Wait a minute. What if I yawn? Does a yawn count? Or will I be interrupting the flow of sound that protects me? I can't fall or hit a limb against anything, nor can I snag myself on an errant nail. Errant. Where did that come from? I've noticed that my language is getting more flowery. That's good. I don't have to find quite so many words. They're flowing out from me, as though the tap in my mind has been turned a little more. I never knew I had a tap in my mind. This'll do. I can manage this. And I need to stay on top of it, conscious of the stream. I don't want to get carried away and pause in a fog of confusion. I could say any old words. I could do that, but I think I'd go mad as I stirred that crazy word salad around. And then where would I be? I need to keep it together, find somewhere to sit it out, surround myself with a wall of sound, and then sleep. Sleep seems a world away. I'd need someone with me so we could take it in turns to sit watch. Would that work? Would a radio even work? Does it work if the noise isn't coming from you? Does the quality of the sound make a difference? A voice that comes from a mouth is different to one that comes via a speaker. Am I kidding myself? Does it matter that I'm kidding myself? I've made it this far, and that's pretty good. I had safety in numbers for a while back there. It's about survival now. I'm on my own. I've got to keep going. Buy myself time. The creatures might not even be here anymore. Moved on to easier pickings. I don't believe that for a moment. You're still there, aren't you guys? Watching and waiting. All I have to do is pause these words of mine, and you'll be skipping out to meet me in the middle of this damn field. I'd say that you don't see them coming. That's not quite right. It's that when you do see them coming, you're done for. Game over. What little warning you have is useless. A blur of movement, pain, gone. You can't outrun what you can't see. They don't move like anything on this earth. There's no approach, no stalking. They come from nowhere, and the more I think about it, I do think they come from some other dimension. They just appear as though they can pass through gaps in space-time that we can't see. Could they be demons? That makes more and more sense to me. Come to snatch our souls away, consume us. The end of days. No one thought it would look like this, sound like this. Do our voices cover another sound? The beating of our hearts? Or is it really the sound of our silence that beckons them forth? I'm searching for answers where I think there are likely none. That's what we do, though, isn't it? We search for answers. We walk into a room we've never been in before, and we wonder what the hell it all is. Thankfully, rooms have conventions, like bloody walls and a sodding floor and a buggering ceiling, crappy sofas if it's a living room, a shitty cooker and an arsehole fridge if it's a kitchen, a bastard bed if it's a... What the hell has happened here? It looks the same, but it's entirely different. I loved walking through these fields. Now it's all painted in violent death. Everyone's violent death. My violent death. I don't want to die. Not like this. But what makes me different? What makes me so special that I think I can evade the fate of everyone else? I'd laugh if this wasn't so serious. I don't think I'll ever laugh again. At least it's quick. It seems quick, anyway. Oh, what if they drag you through those invisible gaps? What if the pain goes on beyond what I have seen? Why do my thoughts go there? Think happy thoughts. Why is the bloody happy cupboard bare? I wish we lived by the sea. That would be nice. I wonder whether they can follow you over the water. I hope not. I hope there are places that they can't go. I hope they eventually give up. They won't, though, will they? Would we? Perhaps they're aliens. Or a lab experiment gone wrong. Doesn't matter, though, does it? If my nemesis introduced himself as Norman, shook my hand, and did me the courtesy of telling me what he was, where he came from, and why he and his mates were wreaking violent and bloody murder across the planet, it doesn't change the important bit, does it? I'm not going to smile and tell him that that's all right then. I suppose it would give me the opportunity for a moment of defiance. I could tell Norman, the planet conqueror, to bugger off. You know what? I can do that anyway, can't I? I can shout my defiance at this new world of Normans. I might not have the final word, but I'll have given him what for. Might even feel good, if only for the duration of my shouting. Yeah, I'm going to do it. What have I got to lose? I'm going to lose anyway, so may as well go for it. Tell you what, Norman, I'm going to primal scream it. I'm going to dig deep down and bring my ancient part to the fore. We are animals, after all. A force to be reckoned with. And I don't give a shit if I lose my voice doing it. I will keep talking afterwards in any case. You're not getting me like that, you sneaky little bastard. Here goes. Bugger off, Norman. Yeah. Wow. Hey, what was that? I can still see it. A gap. Norman! I shouted, a gap open. That's why you don't like our voices. Our voices are our power. Oh yes, of course they are. This changes everything. Yes. I'm going to bring it to you, Normie baby. I'm going through that gap of yours, and I'm going to shout your whole house down. What else is there? I can't keep this talk up. You'll get me in the end if I keep running away. But if I bring it to you and shout you down, that might just do it. I'm coming for you, Norm. And we're going to talk it out. Just you and me. Then, when we're done, I'll tell all your friends. I've got hope now, Norman. Hope and a plan. Best of all, I have belief. That makes me dangerous. We're not sheep. We were never sheep. We're not even wolves. We're different, and we're difficult. We're magic, Norman. And my words are a spell you are not going to break. Coming, whether you're ready or not. So, do not touch me. Calm down. Let me take that from you. It would probably be best for us all if you ease up on the wine. Piss off. It does not matter anymore if anyone sees, right? You ought to be grateful too, Darren. Cheers. Keep your voice down. Please stay seated. Stop. That two-faced best. Oh, sorry, you surprised me, little one. Sissy, are you leaving already? Well, come now. Do not fret. I shall be back soon. All right then. What is that you have there in your hand? A bar of soap. Do you work here? No? I don't think so. What is that supposed to mean? Tell me your name then. I don't remember. Very soon. Oh God. I believe my name is lost to me as well. Bad. This is nonsense. Does anything come to mind? Nothing. Well, nothing. Are you sure? I guess. Just a feeling of pain in my ribs. A blackout type of pain. And then I found myself here, standing in front of this store. That is not very promising. Have you tried using the telephone at the till? Yes. The dial tone goes on forever. And all these random items in the aisles? Nothing good? I looked. But this bar of soap is all you managed to find? Yes. I apologize. I might be starting to lose it a bit. Quite a bit, to be fair. It's fine. Let's just... I think we should try to piece together what we know, what we can try to find out. Okay, if you say so. All right. What do you remember about how you got here? I only remember feeling weightless. I could not feel my legs. I could not breathe and, well, it was awful. And you also found yourself outside the store's entrance afterwards? Indeed. That's interesting. I'll tell you what happened before you got here. But you're going to have to keep an open mind to believe me. That's fine. It's about the soap. If you do not drop that wretched soap, let me finish. And so, before you got here, I was going through all the aisles, right? When I walked through this one, something, I can't place what it was, drew me to touch the bar. When I did, everything around me kind of morphed into another place. Oh, please, do not make light of this. No, it really happened. It was like entering a memory, and I was someone else at some sort of dinner party. When I came back from it, you walked inside. It cannot be. Why are we here? I do not understand. And I think we're dead. And this store holds dead people's things. And get up. Get up. Now. Do not roll your eyes at me, you little. You just get dressed now. I laid your clothes on the dresser. Stop wasting time. We are to leave in 15. Mother, I cannot wear this. The lacing almost suffocated me just the other week. Skip dinner. I do not care. Your wardrobe consists of absolutely nothing but whoring attire. When did you buy all this rubbish? I said, I forbid you to place it back. Come back here. You are not leaving with those ridiculous clothes on. They are practically undergarments. Just leave me be. Are you trying to embarrass me? Your father? What will the English families think of us? They already mock us. And open this door at once, or I shall reveal your habit of drink to the entire club. Do not presume I am not willing to see you completely ruined. And go ahead, have at it then. Oh, is that so? Shall I also call Lolly here? Let us see what she has picked up from you, what she needs to rid herself of. No, just stop. I am coming out. Good. Now, strip and hand those over. It seems I need to inform Maid Sadia that your room is to be properly cleaned out. Worry not, Mother. You will not see it again. That is for sure. It's you. What? I'm seeing your life. How do you know I saw you in a mirror? And this whole time that life has been mine then, I had a small suspicion that it would be one of us. But each memory trip was so quick and scattered in time, I could never piece them together. Also, there's something else I found out. I've told you before that I can't hear anything in the memories. I believe so. Only thoughts with an indistinct inner voice? Yeah, but with the thoughts, I can technically hear other people in the memories. Maybe because of how our minds process words. Yes, and the woman who you called Mother. She said your name, my mother. So, what am I called then? Hera? It fits you. Why is that? I don't know. I just like that name, I guess. Oh? And do you like anything else about me? A lot of things. Good answer. Shall we try that aisle over there today? Maybe we will finally find an item for me to explore. Okay. But you're not curious about why I'm seeing your life in particular. I am. Though something tells me I do not want to know why. Why she is bleeding too much. You have already started. Might as well finish up. No need to do this. Hold her. Oh gods. No, stay back. Idiot. Keep her quiet. No one can know about this. When you are done, place this in her hand. Why? Symbolism, boy. There is to be a mad killer on the loose, cleansing sin in the tongue. I cannot believe you touched it again. I didn't. I swear. It sounds stupid, but the soap literally flew into my hand when I wasn't looking. Top, Hera. Please say something. Did you see everything this time? How it ends? Yes, I don't. Do you want to know? No. But I know I ought to. Figure it is time to learn why that damned bar of soap is essential to my past life. I think you should too. What if this is it? I would not want to leave you. If you do, well, I'm just thankful for meeting you, even if it is after death. I only wish we knew your name as well. I don't need to know my own name. I know yours, and it's enough, like a thief in the night. I'm here. The key is under the welcome mat. The alarm is off, and Reuben is at the kennel. Should be no issue getting inside. Neighbors? Out of town. What time does John arrive home? He's working late, then going to the gym. You have time. For your sake, you best be right. I'm not looking to go back in the pen for some petty crime bullshit. Just get the file off the computer. Easy. Easy. Then why haven't you done it yourself? You know why. Yeah, we know. Are you in yet? Yes. The office is down the hall and to the left. Don't turn on the lights. I'm not a fucking amateur. Shit. What is it? What happened? Nothing. Just some asshole left boots lying in the middle of the hallway. John isn't the best housekeeper. Really, you don't? He keeps his other laptop in the third drawer. Got a problem. What? It's locked. Got a key? No, but he's not that creative. Look around the desk. It's gotta be around somewhere. Gum wrappers, crumpled Post-its, pile of receipts. This guy is a hoarder. I know, but he's the only way in. Yeah, so you've said. Listen, the boss doesn't take kindly to liars. No lies, this is legit. Your funeral. You're a funny guy, you know that? Now shut up and find the key. I said you had time, but let's not chance it. Seems to me I'm taking all the chances. Once you find what we need, I'll give credit where credit is due. Think I found something? Is it the key? Does it work? Got it. But we have another problem. What problem? Just open the laptop and find the file listed as hobby. There is no laptop. Drawer is empty. Shit. He must have it. Why on earth would he take that shit to work with him? Think he's on to you? Nah, I'm the least of his worries. Better think of another way. Boss isn't a patient guy. I know. Just give me a minute to think. Shit, this was the best way. We don't have a minute. We got company. No, can't be John. He's still at work. Sure about that? Positive? His tracker says he's sitting at his shitty cubicle as we speak. We're good. False alarm. Just some idiot lost and used the driveway to turn around. Fuck, man. You had me worried. Look, here's what you're going to do. First, need you to lock the door, then break a window. I'll arm the alarm. He'll get the call and come home. Wait him out. When you seize the opportunity, get the laptop. I could just kill him. No, you can't just kill him. What are you talking about? Just stick to the plan. Hide, get the laptop, find the file, and get out. Never good at hiding, but I'll see what I can do. The door is locked, ready for the broken window. Say when. When? Hell. What happened? Cut my fucking hand. You wearing gloves? Can't just be leaving blood all over the place. That's how people get caught, asshole. I'm not an amateur. Of course, I have gloves on. Been doing this longer than you've been alive, you snot-nosed yuppie. Just keep your trap shut. Shit, the alarm didn't go off. What a damn surprise. Another problem. Just a sec. I need to shut off the power and reset it. Stop fucking telling me and just do it. All right, get ready to cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Aw, fuck, that's loud. Hide. Turn that shit off. I can't. John needs to be notified. Hurry up! I'm going fucking deaf here. Hold on. You hold on, you asshole. Alarm is blaring through my fucking eardrums. When I get a hold of you, no one will recognize you. I'm going to take my fucking time. My knife will dull and need sharpening between breaks. All right, John is on the move. Shut it off. The company will in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to kill you. Don't forget to hide. I'm in the closet already. Ran in here after the alarm went off. John is en route. Fantastic. So, boss is calling. Going to join him on the call. Boys, we have the file yet? Not yet, boss. What's the holdup? This entire operation is a total fuck-up. This yuppie has us chasing our tails. He's a fucking liar. I'm not lying. The file exists. How was I to know he would bring the laptop with him? He's been your mark for months. Gentlemen, enough. I want that file. Yuppie and my guy is the best. No one better to lift sensitive material than him. Guide him best you can and let him do his job. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Good. Talk to you boys soon. You are such an asshole, yuppie. Me? You're the one trying to get me killed? Oh, I'm not trying. I'm going to kill you. You'll forget all about maiming me when you get that file. Not maim, kill. As in murder. Yeah? Well, that will have to wait, because John has arrived. I'll just kill him. No, just be patient. He's in the house. Remember the plan. Wait him out. Once you see an opportunity, take it. We can't leave here without the file. I don't know how I ever got tied up in this. I mean, you get a little behind in your bets, and next thing you know, you're babysitting some asswipe for the boss. and breaching intel. The file is there. I know it is. He just went in the bathroom, and the shower is kicked on. I'm taking my shot. Don't kill him. Wait. Shit. I'm a dead man if we don't get that file. I have a sure thing in play, about to make a huge payoff. This can't be the end for me. Got the laptop. Looking for the file now. It's named Hobby. Go it. Transferring. 30%, 50%, 75%, 90%, 100%. We got it in the clear, yuppie. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Don't thank me. I'm still leaning towards killing you. More importantly, I need to get this file to the boss, who will be pleased to own hard evidence against this freak. Good job, yuppie. You may just live after all. I suggest you no longer take bets. Hell, get out of the game altogether, or else the boss may find more work for you. And if you don't deliver next time, I'll see you at the funeral. Goodbye, for now. Wait, don't hang up. Aw, yuppie. Gonna miss me? Don't sweat it, kid. What was that? Sounded like a gunshot. Did you shoot him? What's going on? Talk to me. Hello, Charlie. Hello, John. In the pastor's care. This story contains descriptions of violence. Franklin, Wyatt, had a voice that made people lean in. A voice you'd trust to guide you through a storm. In the sleepy town of Crosshaven, sometime in the mid-1980s, Franklin was more than a pastor. He was a caretaker for the foster kids no one else could handle, and a fixture at every town potluck. People saw Franklin as a quiet man with an unshakable sense of purpose. No one would have guessed he was running from a past darker than any storm cloud. Years ago, Franklin had done the unthinkable. He'd taken the lives of his wife, Elise, and his teenage daughter, Margaret. They weren't cruel women, but they were fierce. Too fierce for Franklin's tightly wound idea of what a household should be. Elise never backed down from an argument, and Margaret's quick wit was as sharp as a knife. To Franklin, their defiance wasn't just a challenge. It was a sign of something broken that needed fixing. One thunderous night, in the heat of a feverish prayer, he believed he'd heard God's voice telling him how to save them. And so he acted, not out of rage, but a misguided conviction that he was doing right by them. Afterward, Franklin vanished. Back then, it was easier to slip through the cracks. No internet to trace your steps, no databases to cross-check your lies. Franklin reinvented himself as a pastor in Crosshaven. His calm demeanor and willingness to take in troubled teens earned him a reputation as a saint. He never let on that his saintly acts were fueled by guilt so heavy it made his hands shake when he prayed alone at night. On a brisk October morning, Naomi arrived at Franklin's foster home. She was 17, with wild brown hair barely contained in a bun, and eyes that dared you to challenge her. The social worker's file described her as intelligent but confrontational. A girl who'd burned through too many foster homes. Franklin greeted Naomi with his usual warmth, extending a hand. "Welcome home, Naomi," he said. Naomi paused, her gaze sharp before muttering, "Thanks," and brushing past him into the house. Naomi wasn't one to fade into the background. She questioned Franklin's rules, skipped prayer meetings, and made no effort to hide her disdain for his sermons. The other teens adored her. Her wit was magnetic, and her boldness gave them something to admire. But to Franklin, she was a storm waiting to happen. Her defiance brought back memories of Elise and Margaret. He saw the same fire in Naomi, and it kept him awake at night. One evening, Naomi came home late. Franklin was waiting in the kitchen, his Bible open on the table, and a single lamp casting long, flickering shadows. "We have rules here, Naomi," he said, his voice calm but heavy. Naomi dropped her backpack onto a chair and crossed her arms. "What are you gonna do? Kick me out?" "Go ahead. It's not like I haven't heard it before." Franklin closed his Bible and stood, gripping the back of the chair in front of him. "I'm not here to punish you. I'm here to help you." Naomi rolled her eyes so hard, it was a wonder they didn't stick. "Save the speech, Pastor. You're not my dad, and you're definitely not my savior." With that, she turned and headed upstairs, leaving Franklin staring after her. That night, Franklin retreated to the basement, where he kept his tools and spent hours in prayer. The space smelled of sawdust and damp earth. As he knelt on the cold floor, his thoughts swirled. Naomi wasn't just another rebellious teen. She was a test, a reflection of everything he'd failed to fix before. If he couldn't save her, what did that say about him? About the choices he'd made? The next day, Franklin asked Naomi to join him in the basement after dinner. His house was quiet, save for the faint ticking of the old grandfather clock in the hallway. "I'd like to pray with you," he said, his tone steady but insistent. Naomi raised an eyebrow, her arms crossed. "What's this about?" "Finding peace," Franklin replied. He watched as she hesitated, then shrugged and followed him downstairs. The basement was lit by a single bulb that cast harsh light over the cluttered space. Franklin gestured toward a wooden bench. Naomi sat, but kept her arms folded, her eyes scanning the room. "All right," Naomi said, her voice tinged with sarcasm. "Let's hear it." Franklin stood before her, gripping his Bible. "This isn't just about prayer," Franklin began, his voice trembling. "It's about saving your soul." Naomi narrowed her eyes. "Yeah, no, I'm out." She stood to leave, but Franklin blocked her path. "Sit down," he said, his voice low and urgent. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Naomi snapped, her voice rising. She tried to push past him, but Franklin grabbed her shoulders. At that moment, he saw Elise and Margaret, their faces blurred together with Naomi's. The anger, the defiance, the hurt. It was too much. Everything that happened next was a blur. When it was over, Naomi lay still on the cold basement floor. Franklin's hands were shaking, his breath coming in short, ragged gasps. He knelt beside her, tears streaming down his face. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry." The next day, Franklin buried Naomi in the woods, spinning a tale about her running away. The other teens believed him. Why wouldn't they? He was their rock, their guide. Residents of Crosshaven rallied around him, offering condolences and praising his patience. It was almost enough to make him believe his own lies. That evening, Franklin sat alone in the darkened living room, the weight of his sins pressing down on him. For a moment, he thought about turning himself in. But before Franklin could act, the phone rang. "Pastor Wyatt?" the voice on the other end said. "We've got a new placement for you. A teenage girl, 15. She's had a rough go of it, but we think she'd do well in your home." Franklin closed his eyes and let out a slow breath. "Of course," he replied. "Send her over." When the girl arrived a few days later, Franklin met her at the door. She was small for her age, with wary eyes and a scowl that could cut glass. "Welcome home," he said, his voice warm and steady. She didn't respond, just brushed past him into the house as the door clicked shut. Franklin stood in the quiet hallway, his thoughts racing. Maybe this time will be different, he told himself. Maybe this time I'll get it right. The house settled into silence, but Franklin's heart was anything but still. "There's not a ghost in my house." "Sally, Sally, are you running from me, Sally?" "I'm not running, Jessica. You tried to leave before I could catch you." "I'm busy, Jessica. I work." "Meaning I don't work? Let's say you don't do 9 to 5. "Oh, I work, Sally. I work plenty. I work around the clock working. If you call what you do work. So that's another rumor you've been spreading about me? I'm a bum now? I don't spread rumors, Jessica. My name is Jesse, and you know it, since you throw it around a lot. You're paranoid." "Oh, really? I'm paranoid? That's why the whole congregation just snickered at me? I have no idea what you're talking about. And the preacher just called me imaginative. No idea why. No idea, huh? You haven't shared my new insurance claims around lately. I don't have time for your nonsense." "Nonsense? You're calling the House of Horrors? You sold me nonsense?" "We don't entertain ghost stories, Jessica." "No, you just entertained stealing my money and handing me a haunted house." "Honestly, Jessica, you have a wild imagination. It's just an old house. Can you try to tone it down?" Oh, I'm the liar now? You didn't disclose anything. You sold me a paranormal vortex. Jessica, I sold you a house. I didn't sell you a haunted house. Older homes are a little noisy. A little noise? The lights flicker on and off like a damn hallway disco. Battering rams shake the walls. Something cold keeps stalking me from the laundry room to the upstairs. And then there's the whispers in the landing mirror. And I'm supposed to sleep with the corner shadows slithering past. Jessica, church parking lots are not the time or place for your ghost stories. Your wiring is older, however. The house is perfectly fine and passed our inspection. Your insurance policy will not be covering your broken dish claims or any other fabrications. You mean my floating dishes claims before they rain and smash, plus the floating beds claims, and the floating curtains, and the floating ME? I don't know what you're trying to prove, but it's not working. You're making a scene here for nothing. Please, seek help. Oh yeah, it's all in my head, Sally. Is that the game we're playing? The entire town knew about it. This is a county, not a town, Jessica. Fine. Sally. It's a hamlet, village, royal ripoff capital, in the middle of dumb duck nowhere. 'Cause menial technicalities matter more than the fact that you sold me a freaking haunted house. Even the locksmith threw the keys and ran. It seems you enjoy stirring up drama, Jessica. We will resume this conversation when you are calm. I've got a damn good reason to be dramatic. Drama is trying to live in that place without getting dragged into the walls myself. I wake up to doors slamming. I try to go to bed and the roof howls. Look at me, Sally. Not at this crowd. I don't know what you expect from me. It's not my problem. It's yours. No, you sold me a nightmare, and now I'm making it your problem. The whole damn place is cursed, and now I've got a town full of people looking at me like I'm some damn lunatic. I want my money back. I'm not giving you any money, Jessica. You signed the papers. You knew what you were getting. Yeah, I signed the papers, but you didn't tell me the house bled. I'm swimming in a demon ditch, and you knew it, didn't you? That's enough. I didn't do anything wrong. You're the one who... You act like you don't do anything wrong. Instead, you've been telling people I'm crazy. You've made everyone think I've lost my mind. But I'm gonna make sure everyone knows the truth. I don't know what you want me to do, Jessica. The house is yours. If it's that big a deal, you can move. I have to go. We're all aware you have your jolly holiday to pack for, but you're going to handle this first. My holidays are well earned, Jessica. Unlike some... You're saying that I haven't earned a holiday? I'm saying you need to take a step back. I would love to step back, Sally. I would love to just go home and enjoy a nice Sunday brunch without my forks levitating above my head. It's not in my head, Sally. It's above my head. And I have loads of video proof online. It all went viral. None of that has been proven to be real. Proven? You want me to prove it? How about you come over for a meal? You can even spend the night. The guest room has floating lamps and screaming furniture that likes to rearrange itself. I'm sorry you feel this way, Jessica, but your home purchase and insurance policy can't help you with your haunting. My haunting. When are we going to acknowledge the literal hell you've put me through? The place is cursed, and you sold it to me with a smile on your face. And now I'm stuck in this ghost infestation, and you ruined my rep to boot. No one is answering my ads. Maybe no one needs your services here, Jessica. Will that be before or after the rumors you spewed? 'Cause they think I'm all crazy, right? 'Cause you didn't do anything wrong, right? I did not. I went out of my way to help you in an emergency. You were an opportunist. We all helped you, Jessica. Helped me how? Don't smirk at me. You ripped me off. I want my money back so I can move to a normal home with visitors that don't drop through ceilings. If you want people to visit you, Jessica, perhaps you should share more in community spirit rather than silly stories. I've had plenty of guests, Sally. Like rocks through my window, kids screaming, and slow cars passing. Not to mention the 24/7 live-in spook party you sold. And what about all the tents on your front lawn? The Ghost Hunters Unanimous Team? They're here for the one-night challenge. Do you have a permit for those theatrics? Excuse me? You didn't inform us that you were converting the property to a theater. We may have to cancel your insurance. You bloody snake! Unlike your stories, Jessica, your contract states you must inform us first if you run a business from the premises. And unlike your business slogans, I will be certain to share my bad experience with your real estate and insurance firm to my new 57K ghost followers. And I will sue you for defamation. And I'll sue you back. What defamation, Jessica? You shared my personal claims to half of the town, congregation, and our preacher. I believe we all count as witnesses to your ruining of my reputation. Yeah, let's go to court. No, don't. Jesse, we can review your claim on the 17th when I return. No, Sally. We can review all my claims before you leave for your palm trees on Tuesday. I'm sure it can wait. It's waited long enough. And, Sally, we may have additional info to review. And what might that be? Jesse? I am considering turning my ghost house into a business. We need to ensure the... Ouch! Do you always slam your Buick doors like that? So today's story has come to an end. Or perhaps it never really ended. There are mysteries still there, questions still unanswered, and sometimes things that seem to only exist in stories can creep into reality in unexpected ways. Are you sure that when you turn off the sound, everything around you will still be normal as before? Or is there something watching you? Either way, always remember that these are just stories, or at least we want to believe that they are. If you like moments of suspense, tension, and breathlessness, don't forget to follow me so you don't miss the next stories. And next time, When you come back, make sure you are ready, because what awaits you may be even scarier than you thought. See you again if you still have the courage to continue listening.